failed.
No,
This
Henry.
is the mid-morning to Kone, 100.2 Galaxy FM.
You see, if you had
Henry
come
is
early.
always mean.
No, I'm not mean.
Because usually you give us chances to answer.
See,
So when we have given you the right answer, you again telling me.
you came when my man was already confused.
Auntie, but I gave the right answer. I wasn't
let-
there.
let-
By
let-
the I didn't even know the
I wanted to
question.
be
Let
guided.
me-
I was.
Let me just
But he
change the
failed.
question. Let me just change the
Now again,
question.
you're changing question.
Yeah, in 2 seconds. It's my money. I decide.
You see, he always wants us to fail. That is why.
No, I want you to win. Let me ask you a very simple one.
You want us
The
to
last
fail.
one we were just disorganized.
Yeah, it's okay.
How many bones are in the ear?
Now is that simple?
It's very simple. It's simpler than how many countries are in the world.
Ah,
This is just the
bones
ear.
in
It's
the
on your-
ear.
Yes.
bones in the ear.
Hey, how many bones? It's a kindergarten question.
Ah.
By P7 we know these
Go again,
things.
I'm kindergarten this year.
But now you want us to remember kindergarten right now, like the relevance of
things
bones
like-
in the ear.
Just say you don't
Ask
know.
us general knowledge, man. Okay, let's say there's one bone in the ear.
There are 3 bones in the ear. Let's get to the issues that are happening around you, Chari Wangega no Gega Guida, which means I get to give my
You
money.
break them down. Go naga premolars.
Stories from all over the world. Escuteo. Taking it a little bit extra. Mugabira Walk, 100.2 Galaxy FM. With Pamela Isamat. Mu mid-morning to Kone.
Tomorrow come back organized, yeah? Okay. Thank you. We're live on our YouTube, Galaxy FM /TV. You can join in the conversation. Mungiri ne kwangwida. I'm with Pamela Isumat, Ajom, Kurokunaruno, Ramani. Pam, what do we have happening?
Well, let's get started with. I have a lot happening, but there's a school in Entebbe actually that has been shut down for operating in a it's a kindergarten school, nursery school, for operating children or having children learning in containers. These kids have been put in containers. The school was closed this morning after authorities in Entebbe realized that it has no license to operate. The area where it is located is surrounded by shops, bars, and restaurants. And, the school itself does not have the necessary requirements for a school to operate. Because, of course, by the time the government hands you a license to operate, there are certain factors that they consider. For a nursery school, the space, and some of the facilities that you have available in the school, which the school did not have. So the head teacher of the school has been arrested. The school is apparently called Vision Booster Kindergarten and Daycare. So the head teacher of the school has been arrested, and 3 teachers also in the school. If you see the pictures, the learners are actually in containers, sitting in containers.
Oh my God.
But it begs the question, the parents themselves, by the time they take their kids to this school, which means either they are desperate to have their kids have some sort of education,
Yes.
or they just don't mind seeing their kids in containers studying.
But there are just some standards that are supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Pam, there are mothers that give birth in conditions that they are not supposed to give birth in. But simply because there's no option. It doesn't mean that Jebazarira we watufu. You understand?
Yeah.
What is wrong, and what is right is right.
Yeah, what's wrong is wrong, or what's right is right. But that also says, that goes to show that schools have become also just a business.
Exactly.
Either just a business.
They've always been.
The
They've
motto
always
of this
been.
school is my hope shall not be cut off.
I know.
As in, it is for people who are reading.
Whether in a container or what,
yeah,
my hope
please,
shall not
just-
be. We shall use the minimal resources to our exposure
And
to give you
funny
services.
enough, you may find that such schools actually have really warm teachers and teachers who know what to do, and a head teacher also knows what to do, and the
That's
kids
so
are
sad.
actually learning well.
Don't go there.
We have seen government schools
Mhm.
start with kids studying under trees, mango trees. Some of them sitting on the floor. Some of them, when it rains, they don't go to school because they have no particular classroom to go and attend. Yeah, so we've seen government schools also in that direction, rural areas, and we're also seeing now private schools going the same direction.
I know. We are surviving on the prayers and on the mercy of God. There's somewhere I was the other day and I saw kids drinking water from
From
like a pond, like dirty
spring
water.
water.
Ebyagana. That's
mean
what they call it. No,
a
like
pond
dirty
or
water
a
from
spring water?
like a mwala.
Because if it is mwala water is not that. By the mwala water, spring water.
Pam. Okay, can you drink the
Let's
mwala
do
water?
research.
Okay,
It's one of the healthiest
I bring you
waters
mwala
that
water and you will
somebody
drink it
can-
right now. I'm as against the mwala. Jaganywa kata.
If I am pushed in a hard place and a rock, I will take that water. But it's healthy, by the way. Amase mwala. That water is healthy. But the one that is not healthy is okay. The pond water, yeah, and wells.
Ngatuvudde, what else do we have happening?
Well, let's go to schools where the Minister of State for Education, that is John Chrysostom Munyingo, has said that the government is going to come up with an act or statutory instrument, kind of a law, legislation, to ensure that schools are regulated in terms of fees. This is targeting private and public schools. And he says that they have already drafted this instrument. They are at the level of finishing up the drafting. Then they'll take it to stakeholders. That includes the media, includes parents, schools, teachers, and schools proprietors of private and government schools. Then they will discuss and see how to come up with threshold for school fees. This follows a meeting that happened yesterday, an interface between the Ministry of Education officials and the Parliamentary Committee on Education. They're discussing several issues, and the issue of school fees came up, and some MPs also in that meeting had a confrontation with each other. Chinyamatama and Macho for Busia MP. And they were all discussing. One was saying, Chinyamatama was saying, well, let's stop lying that school fees can be regulated in these private schools or in schools. As government, let's push to have schools, government schools, well facilitated, so that parents will see these schools as cream and take their kids to school. Macho, on the other hand, was saying, but why are you pushing for school fees? There are very many parents who actually can't afford to pay these school fees. So, yeah.
Who do we have talking about this one?
Chrysostom Munyingo.
Gavumenti eyagala nnyo buli mwana w'eggwanga abeere ng'agenda mu ssomero ng'abeerayo ng'asoma ate ng'amala nga tewaliwo kyonna kimulemesa wadde ssente. Kati waliwo abalemesezza abaana baffe okusoma school fees olw'okubinika abazadde school fees. Gavumenti esobola kutuula butuuzi kutunula nga waliwo kimuyise exorbitant school fees. Gavumenti egenda soon tugenda kujjayo tujja bagita statutory instrument egenda okuleera nti regulatinga school fees kupala kuliko okupala kibi regulatory instrument yetugenda okujja nayo kati almost tukimaliriza ne kati tugenda to consulting ba stakeholders omulina abazadde omulina abaki so that tubere n'enkola nenga government yeyagala buli mwana abeere nga agenda ku ssomero asome amaleko agenda kulakulanya ensi ye.
Yeah.
There's a difference between UPE, USE schools, government-aided schools. I know the government is sending money to all these schools, but maybe there should be a line between them. You should say UCE, USE completely free.
Okay.
Government-aided, government cuts of funding, and these schools probably manage on their own. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see how that plays out.
That's a tricky one.
Ministry of Health has finally been cleared to recruit critical staff in hospitals that have a surplus budget. This comes just days after members of parliament were asking the government to lift a ban on recruitment. In around 2023, I think it was around April there, the Ministry of Finance put a ban on recruitment of all public servants. No more recruitment, even in hospitals, even in any government facility, ministries, agencies, and departments, no recruitment. So this has affected the health sector, where some hospitals have up to 25% of staff, and you see the ratio of patients who come to hospitals. So a letter was drafted by the PS Public Service, Catherine Bitarakate, and she sent the letter to her fellow counterparts, that is the PS for Ministry of Health, k1lled Diana, saying we are allowing schools to finally recruit, to finally, I mean not schools but hospitals to finally recruit staff. Recently, Health Minister said they have issues with recruitment, especially at Mulago Hospital, the organ transplants that they have introduced. They have about 1,000 patients who are in line to have kidney transplants, but they only have 3 surgeons in the hospital. And the hospital itself has money. It actually has 1.3 billion that has been placed in their budget to recruit staff. But they can't use the money because there is a ban. So now that this has happened, I think hospitals that have some money will recruit staff.
Some things are funny for me, even just thinking about them, they are funny anyway.
Because at the end of the day, this money is sent back to the consolidated fund.
Exactly.
Because there's not been used.
You know what they say? It is what it is.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about it. But like I always say, it's a step in the right direction. Gatuma Diriza, what else do we have happening?
Finally, there's a security guard who, 27-year-old, an askari for sugarcane, Madvani sugarcane plantation, was killed by his wife's lover. He actually succumbed to wounds that were inflicted on him by his wife's lover after he caught them red-handed. This man he does his work as usual, goes to work. This time around, he came back home a little bit earlier. This is in Ginger. And then he found his wife red-handed with this guy.
In whose house?
In his house, of course, in his house.
What kind of disrespect
So
is
a
that?
fight ensued between the two, and well, in the process, he was stabbed in the hands, he was stabbed in the stomach, and several other parts of the body, and he said bleeding profusely. He was taken to hospital. That was on 20th, so he has died from his injuries. But police, according to James Mubi, Kira Regional Police spokesperson, he says 5 people have been arrested, including neighbors, for kusudiaring, like for inciting or
Can
like
you imagine?
Yeah, making these guys fight, and leading to that.
So which case is that for a neighbor kusudiaring?
Dennis Avaga myaka 27 abadde asikaali nga akuuma ebikajjo eby'amadifaani. Kigambibwa nga 2 omwezi ogw'okubiri 2024 Dennis yava ku mulimu n'adda ewaka kwe kuwulira eddoboozi etali lya bulijjo nyumba n'asamba oluggi. Mu kusamba oluggi yasanga omukyala we n'omusiguze nga bali bukunya bali mu kwegadanga. Kakati kino kyaleetawo obusungu wakati w'abaami ababiri, Dennis Avaga nannyini mukyala n'omusiguze Rafael Onzima Bakakira Town Council mu district y'e Jinja. Balwana. Kigambibwa nti omusiguze Onzima yafuna akaso n'afumita Dennis ku mukono, mu lubuto ne mu kifuba, naye mu kifuba akaso kaatuuka ku mutima. So Dennis na overbreeding n'adduusibwa mu ddwaliro Madivan, then oluvannyuma n'afa. Era omulambo gwa Dennis guli mu ggwanika mu ddwaliro ekkulu e Jinja. Kakati ku nsonga eno twakakwatako abantu 5 nga kwe kuli omusiguze Rafael Onzima myaka 26 wa Mutai Camp Kachira Town Council, then n'omukyala avaako obuzibu buno bwonna ye Agnes Agidru myaka 32 wa Mawoito Kachira Town Council, then ne neighbor nga ye Geoffrey Echuku myaka 42 yaliwo kusungiriza abantu bano abaami ababiri nga balwana. Owokuna ye Landlord Peter Ocheng myaka 52. Landlord ono teyawaaba musango guno awantu wonna. Suspect okutano ye Pamela Ocheng ono nga mukyala wa Landlord yaleeta bucket y'amazzi n'ekisiimuula n'asiimula omusaayi gwonna.
Tampering with evidence.
Yeah. So you can see that
the Musiguze is 26.
Yes.
The woman is 32.
32. The deceased is 27. The has her hubby. So she's kind of older than her hubby. But that's not the issue. I don't think that's the reason she's cheating on him, or she was cheating on him. Maybe she was just not getting enough. You know, the guy stands in the sun from morning to evening. By the time he comes back, he's tired.
Bam.
She wants, he doesn't want. He's
Sweetheart,
tired. He's exhausted.
Pamela.
Yeah.
Cheating is cheating. Regardless of how you sugarcoat it, regardless of the cause. Simanyi nakemedwa, I was drunk, I was unconscious, I was angry. Cheating.
I know cheating is cheating. And sometimes it's not about the other person. It's about you yourself, the cheater. But you must also consider, why is this person going to do these things? Yeah.
Just don't waste people's time, Bambi. Para ranking, 2 from my
Jiko